Well, David, thank you very much for joining me as ever on game day. And it's over 10 hours now since we've scored a goal. Our good old friend 0-0 is back. And this time it's against AFC Wimbledon here at Portman Road. 3 more games to go after this one. Your thoughts as ever, my friend?
I have limited thoughts really on the game. It's sort of a mildly diverting way to waste an afternoon, really. Took mind off a sore toe. So yeah, it's nothing. It's a bit like turning up for I don't know, a testimonial for David Gregory, isn't it? Sort of against Kettering. It's pointless. We're not going anywhere. Nobody really gives a toss. The players don't. Half of them know they're not there. Yeah, I mean, the same failings, isn't it? Like not opening teams up, playing it sideways, not having any urgency, all of those things that we've seen all the way through the season. So it's Groundhog Day in terms of what you can say. What I was pleased about, I thought that Vincent Young linked up well in the first half with Bishop, who had a lively game. I thought Hawkins provided a greater focus than Jackson or Dobra did, or Drinan does. Dobra in the second half controlled the ball well, gave some dynamism, which frankly, Bennett's why does he even exist? He's a waste of space, waste of breath, waste of grass, waste of everything. Just no. He's gone into my all-time worst players list alongside Graham Harvey and Glenn Pennyfather. What a waste of space. So, there were little sort of flashes of things that can be, and I think that if you take it that way, as being what can we see here as green shoots for next season and things that might be there, that it's an interesting diversion to an afternoon. And on that basis, you have to say that Wolfenden was reasonable. You have to say that Vincent Young continued looking like a decent fullback. Dizelle, I think, needs to be a bit further forward, but Bishop and Dobb are the strong points for me, and some interesting partnerships, particularly down the right. On the other side, then it just proves that Jackson's not going to be here. He's not good enough. Edwards, frankly, because he can't beat a man. Ward is too slow. We were saying during the second half, down that left side, because Edwards cannot beat somebody. He hasn't got the pace to go past. He needs to either cut inside or have somebody to overlap. And because Ward's 800 years old, then there's never anybody to play that ball, so he runs into traffic. So you've either got to do, if you're going to keep Edwards, you've got to have a more athletic fullback. But frankly, for me, Edwards is finished. So it's that. It's about spotting the patterns of who's going to be here and who's not, and taking it that way. Just look at its pre-season. And I think that it's good that Cook is here seeing them all screw up monumentally, because it means that he can do that cleaning out. Mick Mills said at the start, he said maybe a caretaker would have been better. I disagree fundamentally. I'd rather finish 11th, 12th on a run of 800 0-0s with everybody being shit than have a little purple patch, which makes people think that you've got decent players and then it all goes wrong. So, in many ways, this is actually a benefit, because it demonstrates exactly where we are, and that rebuild can be stronger and better. So I'll take the 0-0. It was mildly entertaining diversion. I could have been staring at a wall and fanning around on Twitter for the afternoon. So, each their own, whatever. Roll on Swindon. They just lost 5-0, so that'll be a 1-0 win to them next week. But yeah, season's nearly over. Looking forward to the transfer speculation. Looking forward to a much better thing when we can go in, and then you can, because we've never seen any of this, you can just write it off, pretend it didn't exist.
Well, Seg, thank you very much for joining me as ever on game day. And it's the good old scoreline of 0-0, this time against AFC Wimbledon. 3 games left to go. But your thoughts on today's draw?
To be honest, it was actually an interesting game. I actually enjoyed the game. It seemed end to end at times. So for that, in that respect, it was actually a good game to watch. So so it's a good game in that sense. But apart from that, Same as always, really. I think every time I've been on game day recently, it's been a 0-0, so it's nothing new for me. I thought Holy getting taken out was the right choice. I think Dye done well. I think he started the game a bit sort of sluggish, but he got into it and made 1-2 good saves. Obviously, made the penalty save, so good performance from him. I do still think we need a decent keeper for next season, or a better keeper, let's say, because we haven't had that since Bart. The three keepers we've had since Holy, Norris, and Dye, they've all been sort of subpar. Sorry, so obviously we need to work on that. But we're just riding the season out now, aren't we? You can't really expect much more. I mean, Cook's already said we need a big refresh. We all know we need a big refresh. So we're just looking forward to what he does in the summer. I'm looking forward to Bennett's leaving. He's the equivalent to Norris for me this season. He's just absolutely poor. Going forward like he did in the first half, and then just shooting it way off target, just summed up his season for me. He's not good enough. I don't know. I don't really understand why he's still starting, but I think it's just the players here just aren't good enough to sort of take his place. Apart from Dobra, who, fair play to him, came on and actually brought something to the game and actually changed a little bit. So, we've got one or two players who are still fighting for their place, and hopefully will be here next season. KVY again. I mean, I know he's coming late this season, but he's definitely one for the future. He's one positive from the past few weeks, at least. So we've got him coming in, and he's shown Cook that he will be here next season and sort of push forward for the big rebuild and build around him. Again, McGuinness can go. A few mistakes today nearly cost us. It's one of those days. It's one of those games where I enjoyed the game. It was a decent game, end to end, but we should have lost. Wimbledon had a penalty. The first half, they were just annihilating us. It wasn't until the second half where we actually got into it and sort of did something. But when we did something, it wasn't good enough, and that's why it's 0-0. We just next season. I just can't wait till next season. It's just we're just riding it out now. We're just written off this season. It's boring. I only watched today because it's a season ticket holder, so it's far too gone in my opinion. We're just looking forward to what he does in the summer and what happens next season with a big refresh with the new owners and Cook in charge, hopefully.
Well, John, thank you very much for joining me as ever on game day. Neil, as my other hand's in the other, holding the phone, so I can't do the other Neil. But this time it's against AFC Wimbledon. Our good old scoreline, no goals for Town in over 10 hours now, which is not good. But we haven't got 10 hours of football to watch anymore because we're only 3 games to go. So thankfully, but your thoughts as ever, my friend.
Yeah, we didn't deserve to get anything more than a 0-0 draw from today. They edged it, didn't they? They were the better side, had more openings. You put Pickett in our side, and maybe we might look like scoring a little bit more. I thought we were really disappointing again today. What is Keenan Bennett's about? No end product whatsoever. Just, you look at that team today and you just think they're devoid of confidence, devoid of quality because of the confidence. And I just can't wait for the season to end. It was just really miserable again, wasn't it? Just so disappointing. I thought Dobra again did okay when he came on. He has to start for me in the next few games. Positives, Kane Vincent-Young got another 90 minutes in the belt, but there's very little I was positive to say from that, really. Let's just wrap this up because we can't score, we can't play well. It's boring as hell. The summer can't come quickly enough. And can we just please work on taking corners and free kicks without either knocking them pointlessly back or giving them away cheaply by kicking them into no man's land? Just dreadful. Come on. 3 games left. We can do this. We can get through it.